Hey, what's up, guys? So we have been going through this Bible study series on identity over the last 23 weeks, and today we are going to talk about how weak you are and how frail you are. Maybe you've heard this saying before, right? Pride comes before a fall. Pride comes before a fall. That's actually from Proverbs 16:18. And basically what it means is that when we get so filled up with our pride and our ego, then we're likely to fall. We're likely to be humbled in that moment. Pride comes before a fall. And man, I've experienced this so much. It's like you roll up into the park and you start rolling around, warming up and stuff, and all of a sudden you realize, I think I'm the best one here. I'm the best one in the park right now. Or maybe it's I got the best fit right now. I look so good and all my tricks are so clean, and you're feeling super duper good about yourself. And then all of a sudden it's like you fall, you slam, you just mess up, right? And all of a sudden it's like you're totally brought back down to earth with all the rest of the peasants, right? And so the Apostle Paul actually experienced something like this in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 7 through 10. And this is what he says. He says, "Therefore, in order to keep me from becoming conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me, but he said to me, 'My grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest upon me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong.'" So the Apostle Paul, right, he's actually an amazing dude, but he also recognized his own weakness. He had this thorn in his flesh, and it tormented him. Paul understood that his weakness, his hardships, the persecution, all the insults that were thrown at him were actually being used by God to keep him humble. So this isn't like a false humility. This isn't a false humility where he rolls up, tray flips the 12, and then it's like, "Oh no, man, that was trash," That's not false humility. He was actually experiencing difficulty and hardship. He actually was weak. He was really, really weak. But Paul was stoked on that, and he says that he delighted in it because in his weakness, God's strength could be clearly seen. So Paul's weakness actually demonstrated that God's grace is sufficient and that God's power is really real. As a disciple of Jesus, you're not called to be this perfectly, super duper Christian, right? You're not called to be this person who's just got it all together all of the time. No, we are actually really weak and frail human beings, and we need to recognize that. So it's not us that is strong. It is Christ's power in us that is strong. We are weak. We are weak. But it is Christ's power in us that is strong. It is God's grace that is sufficient for us to overcome everything.